You are now listening to the Motown Sports Talk podcast. Here's your hosts, Jordan and Dalton.
All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Today is Wednesday, February 10th, 2021. And sorry we're a little bit late. I know we're supposed to be up on Tuesdays, but we've been super busy lately. And obviously, with Super Bowl Sunday going on, it was pretty hectic all day. I was a little drunk by the end of the day, so it wasn't probably good enough to record, but we'll just say that. So yeah, Super Bowl's done and over with. There's finally been a conclusion to the 2020 NFL season, and Tom Brady is once again a Super Bowl champion as well.
The GOAT reigns supreme.
Yep, he has gotten
Baby
his...
GOAT does not take over yet.
No, he has gotten his 7th Super Bowl ring, and Bruce Arians now has gotten his first and well-deserved Super Bowl ring. It's taken him a long time, but he's finally gotten it. But yeah, Bruce Arians got his first and well-deserved Super Bowl ring.
And his mother was in attendance.
Yeah, which is pretty cool. She was one of the ones who encouraged him to actually get back into coaching, is what they said over the broadcast during the thing. So that's pretty cool that she finally got him back in. He went back in after he thought about officially retiring, and now he's a Super Bowl champion. So congrats to Bruce Arians and Tampa Bay Buccaneers for getting not their first Super Bowl, but the first Super Bowl in a while. Lions haven't had a Super Bowl at all. Haven't been to one, so hopefully.
Congrats, former Lion Ndamukong Suh, on getting his first ring.
Yeah, congrats to Ndamukong Suh. This is his first ever Super Bowl ring. He's been very close. He's been ring chasing with the Rams and now the Bucs, but he finally got it, so congrats to him. Yeah, the Tampa Bay defense was just too good. I honestly thought the Chiefs were going to win with their high-powered offense and Tyreek Hill, and I thought Patrick Mahomes would be able to outmaneuver a lot of their pass rushers, but I think they just kind of laid out a blueprint on how to beat Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. I mean, I know, granted, they were out two starting offensive linemen, and that makes a huge difference, and blah, blah, blah. But basically, if you can get into the backfield and you can get penetration and get to the quarterback and don't give Patrick Mahomes time to throw, then you could throw off their entire game plan. If you noticed, I think it was started in the second half, they were literally just playing safeties deep the entire time, just basically letting them, like telling them to run the ball and take time off the clock, and they weren't going to let him pass it at all. So they were just rushing, I think, 4 or 5 people and then playing too deep. So what did you think about the game, Dalton?
Patrick Mahomes ran, I think it was 480, 90. I can't remember the exact snap, but he ran over 400 yards before getting sacked or throwing the ball the entire game. That's how much Patrick Mahomes was running around, running for his life, laying it all on the line. That play where he was getting sacked and he was basically parallel with the ground throwing the ball, Patrick Mahomes left it all out on the field. Patrick Mahomes pulled a Matthew Stafford, left it all out on the field. You could tell he was giving it his all.
Yeah, you could definitely tell he was hurt with that turf toe or ankle or whatever it ended up being, but he was definitely hurt and struggling through some things, and now he's having, I think it was surgery for turf toe, confirmed today or yesterday that he's going to be having surgery now. So you could tell, like I said, he was definitely suffering through the Super Bowl and had to play through it. So that's amazing that he was able to do that.
And the Tampa Bay's defense, we have to give it to them. Tampa Bay's defense played amazing. I know Jordan was just talking about it, but I honestly don't think Tom Brady deserved the Super Bowl MVP because he didn't keep the Chiefs to 9 points. He didn't catch all the, Tom Brady obviously called audibles and ran the plays and threw good passes and everything. But I honestly think even Rob Gronkowski could have got the Super Bowl MVP over Tom Brady. Obviously, Tom Brady probably got it because of who he is.
Yeah, and honestly, I think, like you said, Tom Brady, I think he only threw for a little over 200 yards, and yes, he had, 2 or 3 touchdowns? Yeah, he had three touchdowns.
Also, congratulations to Antonio Brown on getting his first Super Bowl ring.
Yeah.
After all of the
crazy offseason.
antics.
Yeah, everything that's gone on over the last 2 years with him. It's crazy to see him climb back up and actually get to relevance and be able to stay with the Buccaneers, the entire team, and not do anything stupid to get kicked off. Yeah, but I think the Bucs laid out a really good blueprint on how to beat the Chiefs. You just establish a very good run game early on, just keep cranking out first downs, and then just be very, very aggressive on defense. Just rush the passer, not all the time, but just get people, rush 5, 6, maybe 7 people, get to the quarterback and throw him off his game. That's obviously it worked against Patrick Mahomes, so I think that's what we need to do. And especially with Jared Goff, we don't need him to throw 300-400 yards and 4 touchdowns like Matthew Stafford. We just need to have a good established run game. And that was, I forget who said it, but somebody said it on some sports show, that like almost 70% of Tom Brady's passes came off of play action plays because they were just running the ball so much and they had to account for the run game every single play. Like I said, I think that's just a really good blueprint, and hopefully that's something the Lions can try to build on, is that type of game plan where you just have a dominant run game where they're scared of it, but you can also have a good quarterback who can make a good pass when you have to, or make a throw a 3rd and long if he has to, or whatever, but not throw for 300-400 yards every single game, which I'm sure there will be. There's going to be shootouts where we're going to need to throw 300 yards or rush for 200 yards or whatever it is, but...
Oh, I agree. With having a running back like DeAndre Swift, I honestly think, and our offensive line was pretty well last year. Obviously, it can be upgraded. With that offensive line and Swift, I definitely think we can have a top running game.
Yeah, I can't remember if we said this it was off air, we said it on the last episode, but I definitely think we're just one more really good offensive lineman away from having a very dominant offensive line. We already had...
I think we're a tackle away.
That's what I mean, like one good right tackle and a decent guards that we can play, swap in and out on the left and right side. But yeah, we obviously have Taylor Decker holding down the left side. We have Frank Ragnow in the center. We just need a really good right tackle to hold down the other side of the line, and I think we'll have a very dominant offensive line that we can run either up through the gap or run to the outside and be able to hold those edges as well. Because we know TJ Hawkinson is really good at blocking. He's a great pass blocking and run blocking tight end.
TJ is a stud.
So yeah, speaking about the Lions, they also hired our new wide receiver coach yesterday, Mr. Antwaan Randle L. He's a former Pittsburgh Steelers and Washington Redskins wide receiver, and he was most recently with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as I think one of their offensive assistant coaches. Yeah, assistant coaches or something like that. So I'm excited to see what he can do. It was talked that we were going to get Hines Ward as another former Pittsburgh Steelers wide receiver as our wide receivers coach, but that ended up falling out, or... I'm not sure. I haven't heard him getting hired by any other teams, so I'm not sure what happened. But yeah, I'm excited to see what happens. A lot of people are excited. I see on Twitter and Facebook, everyone's excited, talking about
a lot of good feedback from this hiring.
Yeah, a lot of people I keep seeing a lot of people talk about Jamal Agnew with him. I don't know if there's a tie between him and Jamal Agnew, but a lot of people I keep seeing talk about that and the possibility of him playing very well under there. So we might see Jamal Agnew re-signed at a cheaper contract, because obviously I don't think he's going to draw there's a shit ton of wide receivers on the free agent market, so I don't think Jamal Agnew's going to draw that high of a market. So I'm sure we'll be able to bring him back on a cheap contract, especially, I was going to say he knows the system, but he really doesn't, because we're bringing in completely all new people. We'll see. Maybe, like I said, just a familiarity with the organization and everything. Maybe he'll want to come back and play with everyone, but we'll see. Again, I don't really know too much about him personally. Like I said, I just know he played for the Steelers for a little while and the Redskins, and then he went back to the Steelers for a year before retiring. And then he was with the Bucs for a little bit as a coach. So, again, good luck to him. And also, the Lions have been in talks with Calvin Johnson recently about pairing things up.
And congratulations, Calvin Johnson, on being a first ballot Hall of Famer, baby.
Yeah, this has been highly debated. A lot of people say that he doesn't deserve it, obviously, because no playoff wins. And some people say that he wouldn't have his stats if he didn't play for the Lions, because we were down in so many of those games and we couldn't rush the ball, and we never even had a good running back to begin with. So some people think that his numbers are just inflated, or some people even say if he didn't play with Stafford, he wouldn't have the numbers that he has. But it really doesn't matter what people say, because he put up the numbers that he did, and he was voted in by both his peers and the media as a first ballot Hall of Famer.
And every NFL player talks about his just speed and his physical, like how tall he was, and to have the speed he has and to have the vertical he had. He was a generational wide receiver.
Exactly.
I would pick him over Julio Jones, Antonio Brown. I would take him as my number one wide receiver over all the wide receivers in the league today. Teams would be pressing him, double team pressing him right at the line of scrimmage.
I don't think you see that on anybody in today's NFL. Even DeAndre Hopkins, even Julio Jones, no one is getting double teamed at the line of scrimmage like that. There's a crazy stat that came out recently. Well, it's been out for a long time. Just mostly it's gotten a lot of national attention, that I think in every single one of Stafford's start, he's only had, I think it was 12 100-yard running backs out of his, in about the 150 to 60 games Stafford started. He only had, I think, around I think it was 12 or 13 100-yard rushers. And I believe he won every single one of those games. If not, he won it all except for 1 or 2, I think. Yeah, I think it was 2 games he lost, but he won almost every single one of the games he had a 100-yard rusher. So, again, just having a running back kind of changes that whole dynamic with Stafford.
It's not even having a running back. It's just having a run game.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So.
But again, congratulations, Calvin. I honestly think it was well-deserved. He was honestly a top 5 wide receiver. I'd even go as far as saying a top 3 wide receiver of all time. And he only played 9 seasons in the NFL.
I think when you talk about greatest wide receiver, greatest running back of all time, I mean, even quarterback, it's really hard to talk about all time because especially the way the NFL is changing right now, if you ask a lot of older folks, they might say some of the older wide receivers of the game, like way back in the 70s, 60s. But again, their numbers don't compare anywhere near to that of the game of today because it was obviously more of a run-heavy game way back in the day, and today it's more of a passing league where these wide receivers are putting up monster numbers. That's why I think all of these records are going to be broken. I mean, these offensive records anyways, within the next 5 to 10 years if it keeps going this way, because even Calvin Johnson's record of single season reception yards in a single season is probably going to be broken within the next 5 years. All right, so I guess we'll switch our gears over to Pistons talk. And they won last night to the Brooklyn Nets. They won 122 to 111. Granted, they were out Kevin Durant because of the whole COVID contact tracing thing. Yeah, that happened the other day. So he's still out, but Kyrie was in. He did play. It was rumored not to be at play, but he played. Obviously, James Harden played, and they ended up winning. And they've come really, really close. They almost beat the Lakers the other night.
With AD and LeBron, they went double overtime.
We almost beat the Jazz. We were winning for a long time, but then we just couldn't pull it out at the end of the game. And again, this is without Derrick Rose, too, who apparently had a really big night in New York for his first game. But yeah, I guess we just kind of passed over that I guess it's just because it was news a little bit a couple days ago. But Derrick Rose has been traded to the Knicks. It happened on Super Bowl Sunday.
For Dennis Smith Jr. and a 2021 second round.
Yeah, so second round pick next year. Yeah, again, as I just mentioned, he just started his first start in New York yesterday, and he did pretty good. But yeah, the Pistons are just trying to get their young guys some more time because obviously Derrick Rose was taking up a lot of minutes coming off the bench. And with Killian Hayes hoping to be back here in the next couple of weeks, we want to be able to have some more time for our point guards. Obviously, DeLon Wright's been playing pretty well. Wayne Ellington has been shooting pretty well this season as well. So
Wayne Ellington has been hurt the last couple of games, so he hasn't been starting. He did start last night. This was something I said to Jordan off air. I have honestly not said I love the Pistons team for a while. Like, I've liked some of the players we had and everything, but I haven't liked the team like as a whole. Mm-hmm. And this team I absolutely love. I love watching them play. I just love it. It reminds me of the going to work Pistons.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jeremiah Grant's kind of became that superstar that like the going to work Pistons didn't have, but the rest of it, like, anyone can go out and score a lot of points. DeLon Wright's been playing excellent at point guard.
That's one thing a lot of teams or a lot of people just see that the Pistons suck and they have the worst record in the league. But if you actually watch them, like I said, as we just mentioned, they almost beat the Jazz, they almost beat the Lakers, and they just beat the Nets last night. Those are all some of the best teams in the league. They are a very competitive team. We are in almost every single one of our games. We've been blown out a couple times this year, but almost every game we've been in, we've been very competitive, and it's been close with some of the best teams in the league. And I think the Pistons had the hardest schedule by winning percentage. Yeah, for the first quarter of the
15.
season. If they can keep playing this well, and again with our young guys getting more minutes and they're gelling more, hopefully by the end of the season we can kind of get a little bit better and just start gelling and get some consecutive wins going and see
even now, if you guys have been watching, you can tell this team is starting to gel so well. There was a play where DeLon Wright had the ball on the 3-point line and DeAndre Jordan was playing off of Miles Plumlee. Miles Plumlee was just sitting there pointing and DeLon Wright just threw it up right to him and it was a perfect alley-oop. This team is starting to build chemistry and they're all playing together and not, oh, he's the star, give him the ball. Obviously Jeremiah Grant's the number one guy, the number one option, so he is going to get however many shots a game he gets and puts up 20 points a game. Yes, but everyone else gets their good amount of opportunities and are playing together as one instead of 5 individuals on the court that want to score. And it's just amazing and super fun to watch. If you saw our earlier podcast, we really didn't expect much out of this team. This is honestly kind of what we expected, and I love it because, like Jordan said, they're not getting blown out. So it's not like, oh, I'm just going to sit here and watch the Pistons just get blown out by all these teams. No, the Pistons are in each and every one of these games, and obviously we need to stay, I believe, in the lottery to get our first round pick this year, so I'm fine with us staying in the lottery. So losing doesn't hurt, winning doesn't hurt, honestly. Just let the guys go out and play and keep doing what they're doing. I absolutely love it.
Exactly.
And I'm proud to say I'm a Pistons fan again.
For the first time in a long time. So I'm excited too. I think they're doing well. I think they're on the right path. Again, you can tell this is a young team who's progressing, and as you just said, you can see the progression from the beginning of the season to now if you've been watching. So it's awesome to see, and hopefully they just can keep continuing this trend, and hopefully we can keep this group together for a little while. I know we brought in a lot of guys on a young one-year contract. If they keep improving, I think we need to keep this core group of guys together for a little while. Obviously, we brought Mason Plumlee here because him and Jeremiah Grant played so well together in Denver, and I think that is continuing here, and Mason Plumlee's kind of helping out the rest of the team. I just think, unfortunately, I hate to say it, we've said it before, but I think Blake Griffin needs to be gone. Nobody just wants his contract, so I don't think he's going anywhere. So I think we either just need to figure out...
I'm starting to necessarily not hate it because I have noticed lately he has not been forcing up as many shots as he was at the beginning of the season. And I think now he's started to realize that that's just going to be his role. 10 points at the most, mainly going in to be the coach, like on the floor when he's on the floor, and also just help all the young guys. Because Blake's been in the league for so long, he can help all these young guys.
We'll see what happens. I'm just glad. Maybe he, like you said, he just accepts his lesser role and knows that he's just a shell of him for myself, unfortunately. So
the next game is tomorrow night against the Indiana Pacers.
All right, they're again one of the better teams in the East. Let's see if we can hopefully keep our win streak going. We also still need to do our 100 subscriber special. We're not sure what we're doing for that, so we will post it on Twitter and Instagram.
So make sure you guys go follow us there if you don't already.
Everything is right above us, right there. So yeah, and again, if you like this video, please go ahead and like it and subscribe. That definitely does help us out a lot. So thanks everyone for tuning in. We'll see you again next time.